Hi there, well, welcome to the Keeway 200 strip down and rebuild, part 3. Do check out parts 1 and 2 if you haven't already. Do give me a thumbs up if you do like it. Do subscribe and share with your friends, and it'll help my channel out. As you saw in part 2, we've got everything stripped down, got all the plastics, all the paint rubbed down, all repainted. All the chrome and the other furniture's up there ready to be finished off. It's all clean, just need to wait on some metal polish which I've ordered. On the way home today I got some Loctite for the bolts. Now these Keeways have got a reputation of bits falling off. When I first bought it about 8 years ago, a few bits fell off when I travelled to school. I had to do up some bolts that were loose, and I found a few when I was stripping it down. So yeah, I've got some Loctite. So I'm going to put that in all the major threads. I ordered up 2 new tyres today. One for the rear, and one for the front. I don't know if you can see this. Let's try and get it in a better light. If you look at the profile of this tyre, it's actually worn on this side and it hasn't worn on this side. Now I don't know what's going on there. I've watched some videos online that give a review of a Keeway 200, and this is a complaint that the tyres that it comes with are not that good. And the front one here, it looks like it's been ridden on this side and this side, so there's a kind of a ridge right in the middle of the tyre, and I'll tell you what, I can feel that when I'm riding. Again, I didn't realise it was the tyres until I saw this review, and they said the first thing they did was change the tyres. It handled better in the wet, handled better around corners, etc. But yeah, I did notice this when I was going over white lines, etc. You get a kind of a wobble on the bike. So like I say, I've ordered those up. They're going to be around 80 UK pounds, about 3,000 baht, but you know, I think it's worth it. You've got to be safe. I'm going to try out my new GoPro head strap. So I'm going to do the bulk of this rebuild with this strapped to my head, so you can actually see both my hands, you can see what I'm doing, and hopefully then you can enjoy the rebuild with what I see. One of the first things I want to do, I want to get these yokes on the front, then we can get the forks on. I'm going to get the swinging arm on, the centre stand, just so I can get the bike in a position where it's freestanding, and then we can basically use the skeleton to slowly rebuild it. I'm going to build the clocks, the brakes, everything that needs putting together, the headlight. I'm going to do that up on the bench here. We can then transfer it onto the bike as it's freestanding. Okay, let's get cracking putting these yokes on, shall we? Right, first thing we need to do is to get these bearings in here. So I'm going to pack it out with grease, and we can drop the bearings in and the grease will hold them in place. Okay, that looks all ready. For some reason I've only got 35 ball bearings. I don't know if I lost one. Obviously 17 either side gives you 34, so I'm going to put the extra one on the bottom race here. I think that has to contend with the most tension. So there's 18 on the bottom, so yeah, they should be 18 on the top. Yeah, oh dear. I'm going to have to have a hunt for it, but in the meantime, just to get it rebuilt, we'll stick with the 17 on the top. Okay, well there's only 16 on there. You must have dropped one. Ah, there's the bugger. Better get some grease up in underneath there as well. Better put some grease on there as well. Better to put too much than not enough. Kind of should squeeze a bit out the bottom as well now. Yep. Well, I haven't actually got a tool to tighten this nut up, so I'm going to use a pair of Stilsons just to pinch it. Okay, I think that's got it. Not sure if I'll be using Loctite on the head bolt there. Not sure if I should. That bloody grease gets everywhere. Sight them through. I'll give that a final tighten once the forks are in. Okay, that's the ones for the right hand side, so it doesn't have to contend with the brake caliper. Went in a bit easier. Cool. I think we need to get a spanner to pinch that 13mm. Might be a 12. It's like me running back. Probably a 14. I'm thinking maybe Loctite on these. What do you think? Still going into aluminium? I think they'll be alright. Okay, what next? I think we should get the swinging arm on. Remember which spindle that was now? Not that one. Not that one. Does anything else go on here? Yes. Yeah, we can't put the swinging arm in until we get the engine in, really, because it's going to have to come back off. So let's get this centre stand on. Which spring was it? I can't remember, was it 1 or was it 2? I may have to go and have a look. Well, after looking at this I thought, you know, this spring's not going to stretch all the way down there, and then I thought, well, that isn't right anyway. I was going to go and have a look at the video as I took it apart, but then I found this part. That, as I remember rightly, goes on there. Spring on there, and that will hook on there. This is best done with the stand up, just because of the cam there, it makes it a little bit shorter. So I'm going to give it a go. If it doesn't work out, you won't see it. I managed to get that on there in the end. What I did, I didn't attach this first. I attached this to the spring, but I only done one of them. I've done the big one first. I left the little one off. And I've got a pair of mole grips, and I gave it a good clamp on that, and I managed to get it in on the lug. And then I done the smaller one afterwards. I took it out and in. So that's the stand on. I may put the swinging arm on, put the shocks on. At least then once it's all attached we can take that bolt out, drop the engine in and then put it back. It won't affect it because it'll be secured by the springs. Well, I've kind of put the wiring loom on where I think it's going to go. This is all the sort of the battery stuff. That'll go up for the back lights, I think. This is roughly where it's got to go now. I can't really remember whether it went over this or whether the tank impedes that or whether it was tie wrapped under it. You've got some kinks here, so I don't know if they hit on the tank somewhere. Don't know. I'll put the headlight in place and put the 2 clips just to give me a guide. It's roughly where it goes. But yeah, I'll probably do a lot of the wiring off camera and give you a shot once it's done. See how it goes. I might stick you on a tripod. Well, I had a look on my last video where I took all this apart, and this runs along this side like that. This runs under here. It clips in there, although this strap's broken, so I'm going to cable tie that. And there's a cable tie on this bar here, so I'm probably going to cable tie that in place. I'll put the air filter box in. I'll cable tie this to the side there. Well, just had a delivery. Getting a bit late, but I only ordered this yesterday. Today, Autosolve Chroma Glaze metal polish. We can start cracking on polishing all these bits up as we go. I'll probably do them as I fit them. I'll have you around my head and on a time lapse. Well, after it falling off the centre stand a couple of times, I've stuck it up on a paint pot because as you can see, I've already sprained my wrist, and the last thing I want is this dropping on it. as I remember rightly, this was floating. It looks like it had just been stuck down here on the video, and the rectifier, I think, was attached to the battery housing, or the bracket that goes across the battery, which isn't ideal. And it's got to be earthed again, and then relying on this to be unearthed. So what I'm going to do, there was nothing in this hole here, funny enough, so I'm going to put the rectifier on there. That'll earth it out, and this bit I'm going to hot glue under here, like that, on the airbox. And that will go in there, gives a little bit of a gap as well. Yeah, it's much tidier. The other thing I've got a problem with is, I'm not sure if that's some kind of solenoid or, but where does it go? I mean, looking on here, it looks like it's had a washer, and no washer there. That looks like it's never been touched. And here you can see a dark line and some scrapings. Here you've got that line, but nothing's been bolted in that one. So, where would that go? I can't find anywhere, unless it go on something like that, which is a bit messy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can drill holes in that, very small holes. I've got some small self-threading screws, and bolt that in place. Leave the fuse nice and tidy. Yeah, it's a good idea. We'll do that. But in the meantime, I want to get some other bits and pieces put together now. Should we get the handlebars on? Yeah, I need to sort these Allen keys and drill bits out at some point. Perfect. Right, I've only just pinched those because I'm going to adjust these up a bit later. Okay, let's get that oil radiator on. Just remembered, Loctite. I need to back these off, Loctite these up. I'm going to do these ones on the yokes as well. Probably do that off camera. You don't want to see me undo those and do it all up again. But I can start using this from now on. Get the horns on. Okay, everything that I'm building up here I've already polished, so I won't bore you with that, but it's come up lovely, and I'm frightened to touch it because bang, you get a fingerprint straight on it. Should hold it by the edges. Starting to get there. Should we get the clocks on? I think I might leave these foot pegs as it is rather than put the rubber back on. We can always put the rubber back at a later date. Oh, the old mosquitoes are starting to bite me. Right, see if I can remember how this goes. Okay, so spring, ball bearing. Yeah. And this is for the other side, I think. If not, we'll just have to take it apart. Voila. Lot of fingerprints on them. I'll give them a rub over once they're on. Well, we've just had a delivery. Indicators. They actually look a bit bigger in the advert. I thought they were about this big. Never mind, they're quite cute. Rear mudguard. Yeah. Front bracket. Yeah, headlight comes out about here, so be able to see them. I'll have them on maximum out. So we had 2 deliveries in one day. I think these are LED. Okay, so there's the indicators. We'll put them on one side, and a battery. Okay, it's a gel battery. This cost me 300, I think it's 386 baht or something like that. Now, there's the old one. YTX7A/BS. YTX7A/BX. So these are the same. This, I think, was nearly 800 baht. I bought this in Kukan, so under half the price online. so I know where I'll be shopping next time. Okay, we'll put that aside and go on a bit later. Okay, let's get some assembly done, shall we? Footrests. I'm probably going to put these rubbers on later, or am I? Just trying to think of the best way of getting these on. Bit of grease. Let's get a test on this second one. It probably won't hurt to give that a go. Yep, that's the way to do it. Bit of grease. Checking the side. Okay, I'm going to leave that. I'll tighten them up once they're on the bike. Right, I've got a small drill bit in there, and I've got my little attachment, allows me to drill into small spaces. And this is something I've had for years. Right, I'm going to try and do this without centre punching. Nah, ain't going to work. Wonder if that has to be earthed as well, so I might scratch a little bit of paint off while it's still not tight. Splendid. Now why didn't Keeway do that? I'm going to wrap this up as part 3 of the Keeway 200 rebuild. We're going to go on to a part 4. But at least most of the work's done now. What needs to be done now I should be able to do in sort of a 15-20 minute video next week. So thanks for watching, and if you did like it, give me a thumbs up, do subscribe, do share with your friends, and I'll see you in part 4.